Hello, friends. My name is Charmaine, and here at To Witch Isle, we talk about spirituality and mental health. And sometimes I bring a chicken. This here is Francine. She is one of the Polish hens that I got back in April. Seems a bit feisty. She actually just got her foof back from molting. For a while, she had no head feathers, and it was this weird pink fleshy top. But as you see, she now has her foof back. Oh my goodness, she is feisty and needs to go outside. So I'm going to put her outside and then we'll continue to our topic. Today, since it's the beginning of the year and some of us might have goals we're working on or resolutions, I thought it'd be a good time to cover the 12 laws of the universe. And what I'm using to reference what the 12 laws are and what they mean is a kind of a quick reference guide by Kenneth Wong. What are the laws of the universe? Well, I will tell you what the laws of the universe are, starting with the first, the law of divine oneness. The law of divine oneness states that everything is connected, everything in the universe is an extension of source energy, which means nothing is separate on a spiritual level. I hear about people feeling the divine oneness when they've, say, been on a magic mushroom trip or a DMT trip. Some of those plant magics or plant hallucinogens take you to that place where you feel that divine oneness. That's where I hear it the most commonly. The next law is the law of vibration. And that states that everything in this world, whether tangible or intangible, is made up of energy that is vibrating at a specific frequency. Science says that everything vibrates or has a vibration. So that makes sense. That's a law. The next law is the law of correspondence. It states that your external reality is a direct reflection of your internal state. This law makes it easy to assess the alignment of your vibration. So, what that means is what you feel, what you're vibrating at, is what you're going to see around you. The next law is the law of attraction, which we kind of know from the movie. And that states that which is like unto itself is drawn. Your energy is consistently attracting things that are a vibrational match for it. So, just like what you're vibrating at is what you're going to see around you. Well, what you vibrate at, you're going to attract to you like vibrations. So, if you're vibrating low, you're going to attract low vibrations. The next law is the law of inspired action. It states that inspiration will come about when you are aligned with who you are, an extension of source. Inspiration is going to come when you are aligned with the proper vibration. Sometimes I sit down with a blank canvas and the painting just appears before me without me really having to think about it. And it's easy to create. That inspiration comes when I am vibrating where I need to be in order to gain that inspiration. It is so easy in that moment. Other times I sit down and I can't sit and concentrate enough to paint because there's just too much going on in my brain that I can't slow it down to just calmly let a picture create itself in front of me, because that's kind of how I feel the process works for me. When we're at the right frequency, our inspiration will come. The next law, and this is a tongue twister, is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. This law states that the energy is constantly evolving and fluctuating. Our energies evolve and fluctuate all the time. And other people around us, they have energies too. And those change, evolve sometimes, and fluctuate, and sometimes not in the best of manners, but they do. And so we need to be aware of that around us. The next law is the law of cause and effect. It states that for every cause, there is an effect. In life, our thinking is the cause, and our experiences are the effects of our thinking. Cause and effect, every action we put out there is a reaction. Cause and effect. Be aware of it as you are working through your goals. The next one is just as important, the law of compensation. And the law of compensation states that you reap what you sow. What you give to others shall be given unto you, and what you withhold from others will also be withheld from you. In trauma recovery, and I know this seems like that's totally off topic because we were talking goals, but trauma recovery, you have goals too. And that compensation, first off, you reap what you sow, but also that if you're hesitant to be honest and truthful because you fear that maybe you don't have safety to do those things, people are going to see you as withholding and they themselves are going to withhold from you. So you may feel like people aren't being authentic with you, and it might be true because maybe you're not being authentic with them. This law of compensation is so important to take into consideration. The next law is the law of relativity, and it states that everything is relative because we all perceive reality in our own way. Prioritize your inner peace over defending the truth because the truth is relative. The need to be right. I know some people like this. I know I have been like this in the past, that what I knew was the truth had to be the truth. But the thing is the truth is really dependent on the person. Because as I have recovered from trauma, I have realized that even though, yes, I have a truth of my own, that the truth of my childhood to me is going to look vastly different than the truth of my childhood that my mother holds or the one that even my brother holds. They stood from a different perspective and saw, and I have my truth from my own experience. Now, I could fight all day and try to get my mother to see my truth for what it is, but all I could really do is tell her what my truth is and hope that she can find a compassionate way to be understanding about it, because her truth is different. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's the truth of things. All of us have a different truth. So rather than fighting to be right, let's value that inner peace and find that instead, because we don't have to fight for the truth. We know what the truth is. Deep inside, we will know what our truth is. The next law is the law of polarity, and it states that everything in life has an opposite. For every problem, there's a solution. For every obstacle, there is an opportunity. I like to think of the law of polarity when I feel like I have failed at something, because the law of polarity encourages me to the fact that there is a solution out there, that every problem presents an opportunity. The next law is the law of rhythm, and it states that cycles are a natural part of the universe. Just like the 4 seasons, your life will have seasons too. And you know what? I think anybody over the age of 40 has seen the seasons come and go in life. And just like spring is a very important season, so is winter. Winter is an essential season. Rhythms and cycles were something that I didn't quite understand until I started to see different charts on how you make changes. Even change, and I know I've done a show on this, change is a cycle. You don't just flip a switch and then there's change. You have to build to it. You have to make a plan. You have to execute the plan. You have to put in action. You have to maintain. There's a lot involved in making just one simple change in life. And so the law of rhythm telling you that this is a natural part of life. Naturally, you're going to see rhythms, you're going to see cycles. Know that going into the future, you might be setting a goal. Say say the goal that you're setting is weight loss, but you struggle with it. May make a plan this year for weight loss, and maybe at the end of the year you don't quite achieve it. The next year, you make a new plan based on the information from the year previous. Where did you struggle? What can I do to not struggle with that? See if that fixes it, and go until you accomplish the goal. Finding the rhythm that works for you. Gosh, it's so important when it comes to weight loss, when it comes to health, when it comes to the law of rhythm. I like to say, know that if you've got the sads, know that they won't be around forever. The sads will leave and be replaced with the happies. Maybe the mundanes, who knows? There's a lot of mundane in life too. Allow for those portions of the seasons to come through, because we don't take into account that the seasons have all sorts of times, especially the times when most plants go to sleep. We're nothing more than a complicated house plant. We need sleep. And so we need to have a little bit of dormancy before we go into huge productivity modes, if that makes sense. The last law is the law of gender. And it states that life works best when your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies are in alignment. What I realized with the law of gender was that there is masculine and feminine in everything. And I realized that through my trauma work that I was out of balance. I was very full of feminine energy, that mothering need to care for others, so much so that I was a people pleaser. And the masculine in my life, that boundary making part of me, that part of me that always speaks the truth and knows the truth, was nowhere to be seen. I had all this feminine energy and no masculine whatsoever. And that out of balance in my life made any relationship difficult for me. All relationships were very taxing. They took a lot of energy. And that's because there was no balance. I didn't have in place anything to save my energy. I was just allowing people to come in and take whatever they wanted at any time they wanted. And it can become unbalanced the other way too, where you have too much masculine energy and not enough feminine. Your masculine energy, that drive to get things done, but maybe there's no softness, no compassion, no motherly edge to it. So those were the 12 laws and kind of what they mean. And I don't know if you see the correlation between that and setting goals, but as you're working with your goals, look at what you're connecting with, aligning your internal state so that it's ready to bring forth the external state that you want. Remembering that what you're putting out, you're attracting back to you. And also that what you are putting out is affecting not only you, but everything around you as well. One small change can make a huge amount of difference in life. So tell me now, what do you think about the 12 laws of the universe as we have gone over? What do you think about having another show on them? Maybe something more connected. Maybe something like how each of these have affected me somewhere. I know that through my healing process, where I'm at now, I have seen each one of these in play somewhere within my life where I've gone, oops, maybe I need to relook at that. And I hope that maybe going over this with you has made you stop and think a little bit more about what actions you're putting forth to make either changes in your life or to make those goals that you want to happen to come about. Now, if you're struggling and you find yourself in a dark place and all alone, know that you are not all alone. that there is the National Crisis Hotline, and you can reach it by dialing the number 988. And you will be put in touch with a peer support specialist who can talk with you about your problem and help you maybe find solutions that you wouldn't be able to find alone. Suicide is never the answer. Please, if you're struggling, call 988. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And until next time, light and love, friends.